Hi everyone, I am here at Ascension next right now, so I'm at the shop and I'm filming this video. It is Friday the 29th?
Yeah.
Friday the 29th. Jess is in the background making stuff and I'm filming the video. We're not open on Fridays anymore. We're doing more web store stuff and things like that. So I wanted to do this video because this Tuesday the 26th, we had an event at the shop called Ascension Table Tipping. And basically what it was is it's something that kind of came to us through meditation and things like that. Merlin kind of gave us the idea. If you don't know Merlin, he's an Ascended Master, to do a different form of table tipping. So normally at the shop we do a form of table tipping where we have Tori come in and she takes the table and there's like 8 people around the table and Spirit comes in for each person at once, and then people get to ask them questions. But Merlin gave us an idea for a different kind of table tipping, and he called it Ascension Table Tipping or Galactic Table Tipping. And basically what it is, it's me, Jess, and Tori at the table, and then we have people watching us. So the people that are coming in the shop are watching while we table tip. If you don't know anything about table tipping, it's a physical form of mediumship, kind of like using a pendulum a little bit, where you ask the table questions and it either spins around or it lifts up, or sometimes the whole table will lift up. We do it here once a month. We wanted to put a different spin on it to invite higher vibrational energies in. And the messages that come in for this table tipping aren't just for the people that are watching, and it's not just for us in the shop either. It's for the collective, so it's for everyone. So I decided to do a video sharing some of the messages that we have received during the table tipping. So I'll name a few of the people that came in during the table tipping, and then I'll start talking about their messages. So we had Merlin come in for a quick minute. First one was Mary Magdalene. Then we had Melchizedek, which is an Ascended Master. Then we had, he was there for a while. Archangel Michael stepped in very briefly. Then we had Odin, the Norse god, step in. And then after that, we had one of my guides, my ET guides. He's an Octurian being, Little Z, we call him Z. He stepped in for a few minutes. So I'm just going to share some of the messages that came through, because I really feel like that everyone needs to hear them, and I would invite you to please share this video with any friends or family or anyone that you feel would be interested in these messages as well. So when we first sat down for the table, I felt a feeling of Mary Magdalene coming in, and one of the girls here, Kristen, felt it as well. So I called her in right away. And initially she felt a little like agitated. I could tell by the way she was lifting the table, and Mary Magdalene's energy is very powerful. So if you've ever worked with her before, you know when she's here. The first things that she started talking about were dogma, judgment, love, trust, and sovereignty. So if you're familiar with the Leo King, he's an astrologer that's all over social media. He's awesome. So I watch him all the time, and I was actually watching him the night before, and when she said dogma, he was talking about dogma the night before, and actually his messages were kind of floating around inside of me that whole day, the Tuesday of the table tipping. So I asked Mary Magdalene, do you want me to talk a little bit about what the Leo King was talking about? So this is from his video. He did that video. Some of these messages are from his video, but she just wanted to repeat a little bit of it. So it was June 25th. Yeah, June 25th, you can find his video on his Facebook page, where he kind of went on a rant, but it was much needed, and talking about all the dogma in the spiritual world. So a lot of what he was talking about is how there's a lot of judgment going on about, like, this person doesn't do this right, and this person doesn't do this right, and it's all kind of, you know, people aren't really working together, they're more judging each other, and then it's hard for people when they're beginning to wake up, because then they get caught you know, in between, like, oh God, what do I believe? So Mary Magdalene was talking a lot about that, and she was just saying basically, like, even if you don't like the way somebody practices, it's not your, it's not for you to make that decision. They're going on their own path. So you have to allow whatever it is for them to learn. Another thing that he was talking about that she mentioned is like the phoniness and the tricksters in the industry, which there are a lot of them. And, you know, the more that you become awakened, the more that you will connect with who is being genuine and who's not. And even if you're a person that's kind of like well aware and you're like, I don't know, that person seems like a fraud or blah, 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 blah. What Mary Magdalene brought up is that you don't want to go around bashing them or bad-mouthing them. The best way to handle a situation like that is to actually send love to the situation and to the people that those people are working with. And that way it kind of sheds light in the darkness. So the darkness can't really survive when there's a lot of light. So you think of your truth and your love as light within the lies, eventually those people are going to find out. But if you start judging them and you constantly start talking about them and gossiping about them, you're actually lowering your vibration, and it's not good for your spiritual practice. So you really want to stay in tune with the feelings of love and enlightenment. And you don't want to mess with somebody's learning process. So if you see, unless they're really, you know, they're going to get hurt, like either physically or anything like that, unless that's the case, you don't really want to interfere, because they may have lessons to learn from this person. And we get a lot of people that come in the shop all the time, and they're basically talking about like, people that tell them they have curses on them, and then they make them spend all this money, and then it wasn't really anything. But we just tell them that was kind of your lesson to learn. So you have to kind of remember what that person's energy is like, or what it felt like. And when you come across another person and you start getting images or flashbacks of that situation, then you'll know, or your intuition will be telling you, hey, remember when this happened? It kind of feels like this, doesn't it? So you don't really want to interfere with their lessons. That's their journey, and that's the path that they need to go down. So you definitely don't want to be judging people. And the other thing that he was talking about is, or he, she, Mary Magdalene, the Leo King. Also, too, there's really no structure in the spiritual community. So there's not many rights and wrongs of like morality of just kind of telling the truth, but it's, you know, everyone's on their own path. So it's kind of just having that freedom of allowing yourself and other people to be where they need to be. And, you know, like Leo King said, it's not all about the yoga pants and the shakes that you drink. That doesn't make you spiritual. What makes you spiritual is being free and being yourself. So even if that's going to piss other people off, that's fine. That's exactly where you need to be. So let go of the judgment about yourself and others is what I felt Mary Magdalene, we all felt that Mary Magdalene was projecting that message during table tipping. Another thing that she was talking a lot about was sovereignty. So sovereignty is all about being in your own personal power. It's not following anything. It's doing what's best for you. So that was what she kind of left off at the table, is really do what's best for you. Stop following other people all the time. If you feel like, you know, your friends are going to do something, but you don't really feel connected to it, and it's a ceremony or anything really, don't do it. Just be like, I'm not really feeling it. You know, be honest with yourself, be honest with people around you, stand strong in who you are, and that's how you're going to stand in your own personal power. So from there, and also we put in here, thank you, Erica McQuestion, for making these notes, because we couldn't take notes. So one of the girls here, Erica, she wrote everything down really nicely so I could do the video. Also, too, you're going to be an example for unawakened people by really standing in your power. So if you're constantly following others and there's people around you that aren't awakened and they see that you're just following blindly, it's not going to help them awaken. they actually might be repulsed by that. They might be like, I don't want to be like that person. Like, that just seems like some drink the Kool-Aid type shit, you know? So you really want to be in your own power. You don't want people seeing you like, oh, let me just follow everything that this person says, because then it kind of looks like you're being swayed and, you know, what you're listening to or watching or whoever your teacher is, maybe a little untrustworthy. So really stand in your sovereignty. That's what Mary Magdalene was trying to say. So after Mary Magdalene, Ascended Master Melchizedek stepped forward, and he tapped out on the table objects and meditate. Okay, so this message, he has said specifically, is for the first week of July. Okay, there's a lot of this energy coming in of like, get rid of what doesn't serve you anymore, removing clutter, make sure you meditate a lot. So we're in a holiday weekend. If you live in the US, holiday week, we have a holiday right on Wednesday in the middle of the week. It's a lot of the energy that's coming in is like relax, meditate, chill, clear out. And then the other thing is, now is time to focus on projects. So stop worrying about money. I feel like for the first 2 weeks of July, and I'm gonna do a July reading that will be posted very shortly, within the next couple of days actually. So I'm not gonna go too much in it. But no, the first week of July, the 1st through the 6th is very important for you to meditate. There's gonna be a shift coming in, is what Melchizedek was saying. So, and it has a lot to do with your creative energy. So you want to be open. You want your energy to be open and accepting whatever projects, whatever opportunities, whatever is coming in. You got to clear the clutter. So don't be trying too hard from the 1st to the 6th. Really moving out, relaxing and enjoying. And then, like, he was very adamant on, you know, jotting ideas down. If you're feeling like you want to work on projects, make sure it's something fun, be creative, start pumping out whatever you need to pump out. But don't be worrying about, oh God, where's the money for this coming in, or the money for this, or don't be obsessive about things. I think something that Jess said earlier is like, don't be too obsessive about like, how's this going to happen, or when am I going to get this, or blah, 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 blah. Really, it's all about your intentions, like what you're thinking, because there's a really strong high vibrational energy coming in for the week of the 6th. Use your resources wisely. So it's like kind of like he was saying, you have everything you need. So if you're watching this video, Melchizedek is telling you you have everything that you need. Okay? Also, another thing from the Leo King's video that Melchizedek connected with is that July and August are going to be just as emotionally and mentally harsh as June. I know May was like when it started, and then June for a lot of people. So what Melchizedek says is make sure you do a lot of meditating, less watching TV and around electronics. It's like if you feel yourself having emotional breakdowns or anything like that, you need to pause and do more reflecting. So a lot of that energy, and then there was something about, yeah, you don't want to be tripping over your own feet, so going too fast. You need to slow down. So even I was talking to one of my friends today, he's like, I don't feel really motivated. And I'm like, I don't either. I feel like I kind of just want to hang out and not really do much lately. So, you know, you got to honor that energy. You still got to get things done, but don't, you know, overwork yourself. Don't be tripping over your own feet. And that's from Melchizedek, and a little bit from the Leo King as well. So after that, after Melchizedek came in, Archangel Michael steps in, and he pretty much tapped out go find on the table. And it's like, go find yourself, stop waiting. So a lot of people are waiting for like a sign or something to come up. Should I do this? Should I do that? I think the message from Michael that night was pretty much like, stop fully relying on us right now, and especially him. It's like, go out and find what you need. That was a message from Michael. And like what we got from him as well is you don't need him for everything. Like now the times that are coming in is like, yeah, it's great to have Archangel Michael for protection, but you also need to, you know, connect with your higher self to learn how to protect your energy field. It'll work a lot better for Michael because by what Michael was saying is like he's got other things that he needs to work on, even though he can be in a million places at once. That was kind of the energy that he was projecting, is that really find your power within, find that protective energy within. Okay, so next, Odin, the Norse god, steps in, which me and Jess work a lot with. And he tapped out the rune Feyu, which has a lot to do with abundance, happiness, and prosperity. And during that time, I was seeing wildflowers. So there was, I don't know if she wrote it in here, something specific was talking about the wildflowers. I think it's not written in here, but basically it was like, you know, bloom like flowers, starting on projects and the money will come. Stop trying to connect with only awakened people. Okay, I think that's what it was. So I kept seeing flowers while like Odin was here, and then we kept getting the messages. It's like, be a Viking, journey, go out, don't be afraid to connect with all different types of people. I was just kind of throwing things out, and then Odin was saying yes with the table. So like the energy that he was projecting is like, now is the time to really put yourself out there. So with the Vikings, that's what they did. They didn't sit around and like wait for opportunity. What the Vikings did is they went and took what they wanted. You know, there was a lot of pillaging and all that stuff with that, but they were explorers. They wanted to find new lands. They wanted to meet new people. I mean, a lot of what you see with Vikings is they were heathens and they didn't like other people, but that's a bunch of BS, because some of them would leave Scandinavia and they would go and settle in other countries and mix in with all different types of cultures and people and religions and all of that stuff. And that was the energy that Odin was projecting, and what we figured it out was it was basically like with that rune, it was like, you know, as an awakened person, don't hide yourself in and be like an introvert with only people that understand you. Now is the time to go out. Spread and sprinkle your seeds. That's the Feyu rune. Is that how you say it?
Feyu.
Yeah, Feyu rune. And that's you, like a wildflower. You stick out like a sore thumb amongst the, you know, the trees and the leaves and all these normal plants, but you're the one that's intentionally and truly being yourself. And you look at the Vikings, they were like the wild flowers. I mean, nothing could hold them back. They planted their seeds everywhere. A lot of times they stood out like sore thumbs because they were pagans. There was tons of Christians, like they, you know, and they also blended in pretty well with the other things. So it's kind of like, stop trying to connect with only the people that get you. Go put yourself out there and and be so proud of who you are that people will want to get to understand you and want to get to know you. And it's like, stop trying to be like, oh, well, they're not going to get that, you know, I'm an empath and I have all these intuitive abilities and blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, it's like, now it's time to go out and start talking about it, expressing it a little bit, or even just mingling with people that aren't awakened, because you never know. You're there to kind of plant that seed within them. You're the wildflower, so be the wildflower. Be free, be vibrant, be expressive, and your abundance and prosperity will come with that. So it's all about, yeah, being humble and, you know, teaching others. It's, you know, you don't have to put yourself in situations with a bunch of people you don't like, but there's definitely a lot of unawakened people that need us right now. So go put yourself out there. Next message we got from Odin, which I thought was really odd, but I mean, technically when you look at Odin, he's kind of like Santa Claus, the Holly King, things like that. He's connected to the energy of Santa Claus in many different ways and cultures. The kids coming in this planet now are, you know, they're very gifted. They're going to need a lot of help. Obviously, a lot of us already know that. But what he was saying is that the old educational systems are really going to start to break down, and there's going to be all these new schools coming in for the awakened kids. Like, these kids are already awakened. Like, they don't need to like go through an awakening process like we do, but they need us there to teach them. So anyone that's being pulled to teach kids about any of this stuff, that especially if you're watching this video, go out and start doing classes. Go find metaphysical shops, holistic shops, whatever, and or like start doing stuff online. But he was very adamant on that the educational system is going to be gone. He didn't give us like a timeline, but it's very close in that we need more schools for mindfulness for younger people. So that was kind of like surprising to us that that came through Odin, but it did.
They are our future, so.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that's true. The Vikings cared a lot about their future. They cared a lot about their people. That's why they explored so much. All right. So the last one that came in is Z, the Octurian. I don't have the Octurian stuff here to show you, but you can Google Octurian ET. And let's see what Z was saying. He was just kind of being a little playful. Started talking about, ET disclosure. So like he was coming in being playful because that's how his energy is. And then we were asking about ET disclosure. He was saying yes, definitely within the next 20 years. I think that's why we need to start getting everything together now, like the schools and putting ourselves out there and, you know, letting people know, hey, I'm awakened. So when these types of disclosures start happening, there's, you know, the normal people that don't understand any of this. They're going to know, like, who to go to and who to talk to. That was one of his messages. And Greek god, is it Greek? I don't know, Odysseus came in. I don't know what that means. You can Google that. Greek god Odysseus.
Odysseus is all about wisdom and knowledge.
Oh, Odysseus is all about wisdom and knowledge, just said. There wasn't really much that Z was saying except for with the whole alien stuff. I mean, the disclosure, right? And I think he mentioned that President Trump is possibly working with Pleiadians. Like, he's trying to get ET disclosure out there. But yeah, that was pretty much it. So the main points were just, you know, let go of judgment. If you don't like someone's spiritual practice, it's not yours, so don't worry about it. Step into your sovereignty, forget about objects, meditate more, focus more on internal within these next couple of months. It's very important for the energy coming in. Really work on your creative projects. Fehu Rune, you can look it up. It's spelled Fehu, and be the wildflower. Like, wildflower, you know? It's, you know, just, you gotta stick out, man. You gotta stand out, plant your seeds. Be those vibrant colors. And then stuff on ET disclosure, educational system coming to an end very soon, which very soon in spirit years could be like 10 and 20 years, but maybe it's sooner than that. Maybe it's in the next couple of years. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So we're doing these, the next one will be in August, so we'll be getting more information then. I hope that you enjoyed this video, so please share with anyone that you feel that would be interested in any of this information. And let's see, I actually will be posting my reading. I don't know, maybe I'll even do it later tonight or something if I have time. But it'll be up definitely, let's see, by like Monday. So Monday the 2nd, the reading for July should be up. Alright, I hope that you all have a wonderful week, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. Check me out on AscensionNXT.com, that's my website. We have products on there. Me and Jess is making all the spell stuff. Just makes these candles, and everyone loves them. They're Mother Mary candles with roses around them, so really cool. Alright. So I'll see you all soon, and I hope that you all have a wonderful week, month, year, whatever. Blessed be.